Hi guys, my name is Troy. I'm having mental breakdown. What's new? Welcome back to the KotLC fanbase, and today I'm going to be doing my deep dive into Legacy because I recently reread the series and I'll talk more about that later. But first guys, I am wearing my Mango Army merch, which let's talk about the merch for a second. So it is Wednesday right now when I'm recording this, and we uploaded the merch video on Sunday. And guys, it's going really well. You guys are being so supportive and getting our merch, which is really crazy. We've got sold like 7 orders already, and we've made $50 already, which is crazy, like, to see like that much profit off of the merch. So thanks guys so much for your support, and we hope that you are able to get some too. So yeah, that's kind of like my update, but thank you guys so much for clicking on this video today. I reread Legacy a couple of days ago, or not a couple days ago, like maybe 2 weeks ago or whatever. I don't really remember, but today I'm going to be going into a really deep dive through Legacy in its entirety. I also did a video on my Troy Reads channel, which I'll link somewhere in the description or the comments or something, where I did like a 38-minute long review because I just talked so much about Legacy. I want to talk even more about Legacy. I want to go deep into Legacy, go through, kind of like do a recap as well. Like, I just want to go through it chronologically, go through the points, go through my thoughts, long spoiler discussion on Legacy. It's gonna be great. If you guys are excited, make sure to leave a like on this video. Also make sure to subscribe and comment down below what you thought of Legacy and what you think of my thoughts on Legacy. Well, let's just start off from the beginning, where Sophie is unmatchable and she is kind of hiding it. You know, that's great. We'll talk more about like the whole Sophie and Fitz and Keith love triangle later, but the kind of the first scene in this book is when Sophie goes to meet with Forkel to find out her biological parents. And in this scene, we actually just learn a lot of information. This is one of my favorite scenes in the book. The starting scene was so powerful, so informative, and so helpful for me to visualize geography, the Never Seen's plan, and what Sophie's role is in the Black Swan. So first, with like the geography stuff, we got to learn so much about the geography of the lost cities and all the intelligent species capitals. I thought that was so freaking fun to see like how the lost cities and the Elvin capitals and the Dwarven capitals and the Goblin capitals, like, we're all spread out throughout the world. And I hear and unlock that there's gonna be a map, which is gonna be even cooler, but that there is this plot hole that I thought of when I was reading this, because how are the time zones the same if the lost cities are spread all over the world? I'm pretty sure they have some sort of technology to make it similar, but like, let's say there's a lost cities in America and there's a lost cities in Asia, like, how are they at the same time zones? Like, that's so crazy to me, and I would love to hear what you guys have to say. But that was cool. Then we also learned that Sophie is like basically going to be saving or like uniting the humans and the elves. Like, that was her purpose. Mr. Forkel told her she was the new perspective on the humans versus the elves situation. That's why they made her, like, you know, live with the humans. And then also finally Shannon laying down and kind of starting to finalize the series by laying down the final like plot points of the Never Seen and being like, this is their plan, this is how the rest of the series is going to go, where basically they're going to be attacking each intelligent species so that they are weakened, and then you know, the elves are going to go for the goblins and the elves and take over the council. That's their kind of grand plan, and we get to see that. And then Mr. Forkel kind of goes into kind of foreshadow and tell Sophie that basically what happens is, in this book, the Never Seen are targeting the Dwarven world, so Lonemore, and basically what happens is they have to start researching. It's just to find out what the Never Seen are going to do to cripple the dwarves, basically. Later that day, she's kind of flustered because Forkel doesn't, you know, tell her biological parents, and it starts the whole biological parent search. She reaches out to Tam, you know, checks in with him, and out of the blue, he tells Sophie, under like this shadow flux kind of like shield, he tells her that Lady Gisela is ordering to kill Keith. And when I first read this, I even read this before the book because Shannon released like a few chapters of the book before. Like, I was mind blown, and I was like, oh my gosh, Keith. And then I immediately started texting Joey. I was like, oh no, what happened to Keith? Oh my gosh. I started like flipping out because it was crazy. And I was like, oh my gosh, this is gonna be such an exciting book because it's almost like a murder mystery where like Keith is gonna be murdered and like we have to save him. And so then Sophie immediately grabs her bodyguard, or just I think one bodyguard, and goes to tell Keith, and it gets crazy, and she goes tells him. But the main thing that I want to talk about with this scene is she's actually able to tell Keith about her unmatchable status. Now, this book takes place 9 days or something after flashback, and so she hid the unmatchable thing from everyone. She, you know, played it off or whatever. She finally tells Keith about the unmatchable status in this scene, and it shows a lot about what our theories were. Like, my theories for this book was that Fitz was going to be super mad about being unmatchable, and Sophie knew that. That is like, they were at a very really good point at the end of flashback. Like Sophie was like, oh, I'm wearing a teal dress to go to the matchmakers. But at the start of Legacy, her being unmatchable, that's like the demise of their relationship. We start getting that one like crack in their relationship when Sophie goes to Keith first, and she trusts Keith more about this secret. And so Keith is so sweet about it too. Like he was so loving and sweet to Sophie. He was like, yo Sophie, it's not gonna matter for anyone that cares about you. So I mean, it doesn't matter. Obviously he's like, it doesn't matter, Sophie, I care about you, like that's not gonna change anything. I thought it was so cute of Keith to just be so supportive of it, and that's kind of all I have to say. We'll talk about more of the Sophie and Sophie relationship later. But next we have Sophie being appointed to the Regent because she wants to learn more about the Lone Moor or whatever, and she needs to gain access, I guess, to all of Grady's secrets. So she needs to go to Regent, but what she realizes when she walks in that door to become a Regent, that there is this new situation that's happening to Sophie, and 4 of her other friends are going to be appointed as well, and they're going to form this team, Valiant, so that the Black Swan and the Council can work closer together, which I thought was really great. The Council kind of started getting this negative effect in some of the earlier books, and they were kind of like seen as the enemy. So I'm glad that the Council and the Black Swan are working together more, although it still can be even better with the Black Swan and the Council just working really close in hand. They don't need the kids to work together, but you know, the leaders should be working together. I thought the whole Regent thing was such a great plot twist, and I was like, oh dang, I did not see that coming. And then it was so funny. I remember like them walking in and they're like, Team Prodigious, which I thought was a pretty cool name. I don't know, but Sophie and Biana were just laughing it up, and Dex was laughing it up, and they changed the name to Team Valiant. I thought that was so fun. I thought that was such a cool thing that Shannon could do, to unite some of the lesser seen characters like Stina and Dex and Wiley and Biana. Like those were the lesser known characters and the lesser known people in the Black Swan's plans, and now they're getting a really new purpose. I love that so much. I thought Shannon did a really great job with that. And then they went up to the space to get like the light purity and the shadow purity and the moon purity, which I thought was a little bit extra, but I thought it was great to just get that new perspective on things as well. I really liked that part. Oh, I also remember a huge plot point in this book being like the human recruit. Like Keith discovers this memory where basically he was sent to deliver a letter to a human recruit, and basically he went to the human world to recruit this person, and basically Keith and Dex are working to find this person. And I remember like Sophie going with Dex to install the technology. I don't really remember what happened. And then anyways, next what happens, I'm pretty sure, is the whole enhancing gig where, you know, Sophie goes to Amy in her human family's house. Basically, she, you know, discovers her forgotten memory of her past. Like she had 2 stolen memories away from her, and this was one of them. It was like the enhancer, the inflicting memory, where she was basically inflicting and like pouring like red hot hatred into Amy and was really hurting her, and that's when her enhancing kind of turned on as well. It was a really interesting plot point, and just seeing Sophie again be so bonded with Amy. I love the whole Sophie-Amy relationship. That's so cute. I love that. But yeah, just learning all that new information about this forgotten memory, and like that memory has like been foreshadowed for so long, and I'm like, oh, it's so great to finally have that. And then Sophie is presented with the option of, you know, do you want to, you know, reset your abilities? Sophie's like, no, I want to find out my biological parents, and she's been kind of stubborn about that. But you know, we stan a stubborn queen. We like it. And then we also have like Sophie having the task of telling other people that she's unmatchable, like her parents and her team Valiant. And you know, she basically tells Fitz last. And I remember like Fitz walking in on, you know, Keith and Sophie talking about her biological parents, and he's like, you're unmatchable? And then the conversation gets so awkward. And I remember Fitz kind of starts getting a little bit, you know, nervous about this unmatchable thing, and he's like, oh, you'll find your biological parents, it won't matter. But in the end, it basically broke up their relationship. But after the inflicting thing, I remember they visited Lone Moor. I'm pretty sure I think this is after, but they visited Lone Moor to check on the security of Lone Moor and the Dwarven capital. That was really interesting to just see this new world, and like also start theorizing about what the Artesient could be doing at the end of the books. You know, they have that big fight at the end of the book, so we're kind of like starting to kind of theorize about it. There's this strange occurrence that happens with the chandelier. They have to go through this weird hall of memories and spooky stuff, and I just really love learning more about like how the dwarves do things in the Dwarven world. That was really cool. I love learning about the trolls in flashback, and so learning about the dwarves in Legacy was really great. And also we start getting the foreshadowing of like the shadiness of the king of the dwarves, because he was shady the whole time. I thought we were like able to trust him or whatever, but no, clearly not. Oh, okay, next up is the scene on the cover where Sophie and Keith and Fitz go to London because I think they found the man or something. They found out that the man was dead. They found out that Lady Gisela kind of like killed the man that like Keith was going to recruit or delivering the letter to when he was a child. Then we found out that Lady Gisela was standing, and after she killed the man, she was standing in London. She was looking at this thing for like 30 minutes. And so Sophie, Keith, and Fitz sneak away to basically go and investigate what Lady Gisela was looking at. They run in with the Neverseen. Tam and Lady Gisela are there basically, and Sophie, you know, uses her new inflicting upon Lady Gisela, but Tam is able to save Lady Gisela. We kind of see that point where Tam kind of starts betraying them and wonder like what's going on with Tam. Why is he like so adamant about helping the Neverseen? That kind of kicks in. We see like Tam kind of getting controlled by this weird device, and it was just really interesting to go to the human world again, and it's a great scene. I love that scene so much. It was so eerie and suspicious and tense. I loved it. Also, something that happened before this, I know I'm going out of order, but like I'm slowly remembering things about the books as I go on. Marka is like one of my favorite characters. I love her so much, and having her be incorporated is great. I remember in like when she's being appointed as a regent, Wiley was like, don't include Marka, don't include Marka. But you know what happens? Marka goes to Sophie and she's like, look what I can do. She's like, oh, I'm kicked, but I got this Siniopath ability. And I was like, what? That's crazy. I was like so all for Mark having this ability, and it totally game changed everything. They also contacted Tam with Lynn, and then he said Lynn was in trouble or something. I don't know, that was a great scene. But going back on the point, okay, sorry, I just had to check like what was happening. But next up, I'm pretty sure Sophie goes to Lord Cassius's house to, I guess, try to find Lord Cassius's memories, or, you know, find any like forgotten memories or erased memories. So Sophie does that. She finds this memory where she makes like Lord Cassius drink this weird concoction or something. I don't really remember what happened, but there's like these 3 different potions that she inhaled, and like she collapsed on the ground or something. I don't know. There's just this weird memory that like she found, and then Keith and Sophie went to Candleshade. They found Alvar there. Keith told them a little bit about the memory that he found with the whole like sense and legacy that was going on. The whole like concoction, weird ingredient potion things. I don't really remember how to describe that. In exchange for his safety, Alvar gets away, and then there's this big fight with Sophie and Fitz because she let Alvar get away. Also, what happens next is Orlai invites Sophie over to do some enhancing exercises. Great idea, Orlai, because we find out that Sophie's biological mother is Orlai, and this was by far the best scene in the book, my favorite scene in the book. It was so beautifully written because before that scene, I remember Keith telling Sophie, like, empaths have a tell, empaths have something that'll, like, give away any of their lies. Oh, Orlai, she was like, Sophie kind of, like, started realizing that, like, empaths were stronger for her or something, and she's like, wait, Orlai, are you my mom? And then, boom. She finds it out because Orlai has 3 skipped beats, and then she's like, you're my mother, and then she storms out and she makes a big scene, and she focuses on the things that like Orlai did not do. Orlai did a lot for Sophie, I remember, throughout the series, but Sophie focused on the negatives. I don't know why, for whatever reason, and she basically stormed off. I thought that was just so crazy to me. Like, I was not expecting it, or actually you guys spoiled us, but it was still a shock nevertheless. It was just crazy. It was a crazy plot twist. I loved it so much. Shannon executed that beautifully, and then after that there's the big epic fight with Lomor. But before that, Sophie talks with Fitz about Alvar. He was angry about her, and she's like, oh no, I'm sad. And then Fitz is like, oh, what's wrong? And he's like, telling about other biological parents, and then Fitz started to guess his biological parents, and she got really upset about him. She was like, stop trying to guess. Stop trying to guess. It's not Orlai. Stop guessing. It's not gonna help. I'm never gonna be able to tell you, and I'm never gonna be able to be matchable. And then Fitz got so mad after that. He got so upset. He said this one iconic line that would ruin his relationship with her forever, but he said, your matchmaking thing is going to ruin it for us. It's going to ruin our relationship. It's going to ruin his relationship. And I was like, ooh, he really did say that, because Sophie had been struggling with the unmatchable status. She was so upset with it. She was really angry that she couldn't find out her biological parents and stuff. She was so sad about the unmatchable stuff. And then Fitz said it was going to ruin him as well. He totally overlooked her struggles. She was like, you know, we're breaking up or whatever. They started a big fight, and then they started avoiding her, and, you know, they never contacted again, and that was a big bruise in their relationship. The next morning or whatever, oh, she came outside, and there was like this cute little teal wrapper around the alicorns. Oh, nope, it's a death note from Lady Gisela. I was like, whoa, what? That's crazy. Like, that's something that you would see like in like a weird like horror movie. Like, oh, you see this really nice gift, but inside it's like a drop of blood, and there's like this note that's saying, I'm gonna kill you, or whatever. That's so clever. I love it. Okay, anyways, so yeah, the big epic fight with Lomor, it was really great. I loved it so much. First thing I want to talk about is the betrayal with the King of the Dwarves. He betrayed Sophie and the Black Swan. Like, that was crazy. Like, I don't know why he didn't know like what was happening, because clearly the Neverseen's plan is to ruin the dwarves and ruin the relationship between the elves and the dwarves. He totally did that now, because like the dwarves are in big trouble with the, you know, the council, because they betrayed the Black Swan, and that was crazy. Also, Keith showing up, I'm kind of mad at him for that, because low-key that's so annoying that he would go back on Sophie's orders and show up to the Neverseen fight, especially because she said bring Keith. Like, why would you bring Keith? Ugh, and then he got his freaking, that was so sad, like seeing Keith up there. Sophie was like, you know, I'm always with you, I'm glad I met you. And then she's like, I'm glad I met you too, Foster. And then what happens is she shoots him with the light and the shadows, and then he gets into the cocoon and he's like, I want to sleep. And then he's basically dead, he's in a coma, and he can't talk to Sophie anymore. It's a tragedy. Sophie, you know, is like, oh my gosh, I gotta get Keith back, because Lady Giselle is like, oh, I'm panicked because Keith is not reacting well to this. And so Sophie's like, has Keith in her arms, and she's like, no, Keith, I'm gonna get you. And she teleports through the world to get him to safety. It was great. I liked the Lone War scene a lot. Some of it I couldn't really understand, especially like with all the materials. I don't really understand like the shadow blocks and the Fraxial and the blah 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 blah. I don't understand all that stuff, but it was cool nonetheless. And just seeing the new person Glimmer, also just seeing the whole Tam and Glimmer relationship, that it brings in a lot of intrigue. I'm so excited to see more from Glimmer. Yeah, but basically at the end, after the scene, when she's with Keith, he comes in, he's like, hey, I'm so sorry, I miss you a lot. Sophie's like, I'm friend zoning you, and she basically, you know, tells Keith that she'd rather have him as a friend, and she, you know, wants a break from him. And then she gives him a friendly squeeze, and then Fitz laughs and makes a joke as a friend, and basically she friend zoned him, and their relationship goes. I mean, I'm sorry if I'm offending any Sophie shippers, don't dislike or anything, but I just don't see any hope for them after that. I don't think they'll be back together, at least for Unlocked. They need a little bit of time and space and healing to heal their relationship. But yeah, I'm glad to see them that they're now friends, because that was just so much awkwardness and cringe seeing them together. So I'm glad that Sophie and Fitz can be friends now. Orlai comes and, you know, she's like, I got some secrets, I want to tell you them, let's open this Forgotten secret together, let's learn about Keith's legacy, let's do it. And then it's like, Sophie's like, bring it on, and then Shannon's like, pause, and then she's like, you gotta wait till the next book. So yeah, I really enjoyed this book so much. I hope you enjoyed kind of like my play-by-play reactions to all the events. I love rereading this book so much because there's so much good information and action, but there's also scenes that I just totally skipped over because they're kind of slow and dialogue-y. But I love this book nonetheless, and I really hope you enjoyed hearing my thoughts. Overall, it's a really great series, filled with action, filled with conspiracy, and filled with coolness. Anyways, thanks so much for watching this video. I really want to hear your thoughts on Legacy and kind of some of the stuff that I talked about. I don't want to talk about this, you know, for hours. So yeah, make sure to leave a like, subscribe to our channel. I would love for us to get to 3,300 soon. Okay guys, sorry my camera just stopped. My memory card was full. Make sure to subscribe. I think I said that. We're trying to get to 3,300 subscribers. Thanks for everyone who subscribed. Make sure to share our channel so we can get even more subscribers. We really appreciate it. So yeah, like, comment, subscribe. But yeah, and also make sure to buy our merch if you haven't already. Check out the store in the description. I think it's like bit.ly/KotLC Fanbase merch. You guys are freaking awesome buying our merch already. We are a business now. Anyways, love you guys so much. Have a great rest of your day, and I'll see you in my next week's video. So yeah, love you guys so much. Have a great rest of your day, and you know, keep being a mango. So love you guys. See ya. Watch one of the videos on screen and have a great day. Cheerio!